to upset last year's champions and collect win at number 1 after 4 straight losses, while Adelaide have a couple of games up their sleeves with only 3 matches, only the 1 win so far though. I'd like to start this broadcast by acknowledging the Larrakia people, the traditional owners of the land we are on, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'd also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people watching this broadcast. My name is Will Zwar and I am joined by Carl May. Looking at the bat flip now, and in the middle of 2 captains, it was the ACT who won that bat flip, and they have decided to have a bat first. As I said, with me today is Carl Main. We'll take a quick look at the team lineups now, Carl.
Great to be with you, Will, as we see the ACT Comets team. 2 changes for them. Rahman and Skelly come into the side for Allen and Juby. Lewis Evans has been a shining light with the ball, 7 wickets and an economy under 5.3, while Zach Kogue is their ace in the deck with the stick. Moving on to the strikers, they need to get moving if they're going to retain their championship. They've played 3 matches, so a game in hand. Again, 2 changes, a big omission. Alex Ross, the experienced Big Bash middle order batter. Stockdale and Winter come in, with Ross and Jacobs coming out. We'll be back with live action shortly.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your potential can glide through boundaries and you can rack up runs in places you've never imagined. Enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and help us build what's next. When this over is over, think about getting on a good wicket and consider studying in Australia's Northern Territory. Authorised by the Northern Territory Government, Darwin.
Visiting Darwin, Australia? Make your stay a winning one at Darwin Airport Resorts. Just minutes from the airport and a short drive to the city, it's the ideal base for travellers chasing sun, culture or the cricket. With 3 comfortable hotels, 2 inviting pools and 2 on-site dining options, everything you need is right here. Relax, recharge and enjoy the top end at Darwin Airport Resorts.
Welcome back to DXC Arena as we see the Adelaide Strikers taking the field. A heavy loss to the Pakistan Shaheens last night. They lost by 107 runs, which has done considerable damage to their net run rate. They have lots of Big Bash talent in their squad, so expect them to bounce back with the likes of Harry Menenti. Will, what are you looking forward to today?
Looking forward to seeing 2 teams coming out and really having a crack. I think Adelaide Strikers have maybe got a scoreline that's not reflective of their performance so far. US Kingsmen and Pakistan Shaheens probably 2 of the strongest teams. They've played both of them in their 3 matches and got a good win against Perth. I think they'll be out to prove some doubters wrong. But the ACT Comets, they're a pretty young side here. Not too many household names, but I think they would potentially be looking at the Adelaide Strikers win-loss record and thinking maybe this is an opportunity for us to take home some chocolates today.
Definitely. I think you see that big omission of Alex Ross from the Adelaide Strikers, and that will create some opportunities for the ACT. It starts with the bat with them. It's been a modest and lean campaign for a few of their batters. Zach Keogh leads the run scorers with 103 after 4 innings. Top score of 66. So he'll be a key wicket. They'll be looking to get top on early through this power play. We're moments away from the first ball. Reminder, a 4-over power play. 2 fielders outside the inner ring. We've got a deep point and deep square. A slips in play. It's going to be Thompson from the top end. Little to no breeze. Perfect conditions here in Darwin. Been treated to an absolutely delight through this top end series. Left arm over. And here we go. We're on strike. Back of a length. Defended for 1. These first couple of overs are going to be crucial for the ACT.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these first overs have sort of, for some games, teams have just eased into it, and others have really taken the game by the horns and made the most of that power play. ACT, as we know, it hasn't been the strongest tournament for them. I think against NT Strike, they scored just 7 off their first 2, conceded a wicket, so they'll be wanting to start a little bit stronger than that and really just give a little punch into this game and show they're here to play.
You don't get better batting conditions than DXC. As Thompson continues, this one's a little leg side. Work down for 1. The ACT are away. So just to recap on their batting performances so far. To get 161 against the Hurricanes, but that was chased down pretty easily. Hurricanes only lost 3 wickets in reply. While, 120, 100 and 106 have been the other returns for the ACT batting lineup. Rose, the left-hander, on strike now. Nicholas Rose, deep square and deep point remain. Left-armed Thompson, full worked into the cover. Rose is off the mark as well.
They seem to have the batting talent there, Carl. They just haven't quite managed to click all together at once this tournament. 66 from Zach Keogh. That is their top score so far in this tournament. A few other flickers of hope, a 20, a 24 and a 34, the other leading scores. So nothing massive there, but I think we've seen enough to show that they could get to those 160 run heights they got back in game 1.
Thompson back to Maroon now, defending for a dot. So we saw the Pakistan Shaheens post 202 batting here first last night. Well, what do you think is the par score, or what the ACT think they can defend?
Tough question. I think they'd like to be optimistic and think that they can maybe contain 160, but then looking at the firepower down the other end, there's no Alex Ross, but it's still pretty handy. I reckon they'll be hoping for 160 at a minimum, and maybe even 175 they'll be aiming for.
This one's Slade, and what a catch it slipped. That flew hard. Maroon threw his hands at it, got a bit of it, went well to second slip, but diving to his right, well held. Confirm the fielder for you, but that's a great start for the Strikers, showing they are on early.
Yeah, that definitely won't go to help the cause of the ACT Comets at all. Just 2 runs so far and 1 wicket has fallen.
Can't wait to see the replay there. One of the best catches we've seen through this top end series. Slashing wide, moved well, caught it clean as a whistle. Jake Winter there, fielding it, slipped. The perfect start for the Adelaide Strikers, and we've seen how important it is taking early wickets for the bowling side.
He absolutely can really change the momentum of the game, and it probably goes to show just how important they are later in the innings when teams are more thinking, do we need to hang on to wickets here, or can we blaze away because we know we've got a few wickets in hand if we do something silly. Yeah, it just sort of removes the safety net, and when you're looking at a batting lineup like what the ACT have got, Tom Hogan's in there at 5th. He's pretty handy himself. But it sort of tends to have dropped off after that 5th or 6th drop for the Comets. Yeah, they want to hold on to the early wickets as much as they can, and might see a little bit more defensive here from Zach Keogh and Nick Brose, which is probably not what the plan was going to be.
So the big wicket, Zach Keogh, he's been an emerging prospect from the ACT for many years. There's a second 11 double century to his name. Well regarded in Australian cricket circles. He's the prize wicket, leading their run scoring coming into this match. A lot rests on his shoulders. Oh, an appeal first ball. Looked to be shaping down the line and given. The umpire took plenty of time to think about it. A couple of noises there. We'll look for the replay if it was pad on pad or if there was anything else close to the ball. will certainly look to swing down the line from Thompson. We've seen so many left armers over the years, that ability with the new ball. So we take a look at the replay here. Pitching in line, coming back. Oh, Keogh gave a little signal maybe to indicate he thought it was going over. He's a tall man and was a step and a half down the wicket, but 2 in 2, and the worst possible start as the ACT Comets try and get on the board in this top end series.
Very unique scenario coming up here, Carl. They've got 2 opportunities to claim a hat-trick. A team one with this ball here, and at the start of the next over for Thompson, he could go for a single or a solitary, I'm not sure what you call it, an individual hat-trick we'll call it.
Yep.
Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but
I'm sure he will continue from the top end as Oakley takes the new ball from the airport end. Perfect start for the Adelaide Strikers. We mentioned the last year's champions. They got over the line against Bangladesh. They're currently 3 matches with 1 win, each side playing 6 matches, so you would think they'll need to win all of their remaining games. We said that they're currently got the worst of the net run rates of the teams with a win, so they've got some ground to make up. Oakley coming in. Full into leg. That one looks to be sliding or swinging down. Umpire is unmoved.
they had a crack, didn't they?
So a great opportunity for the ACT batters, a chance to make their name on an important stage. Whilst the team is facing a difficult campaign, individual performances can still go a long way to setting up a career.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's probably the mentality of a lot of the ACT players. Not necessarily, are we going to come away with a lot of wins, but how can I improve as a cricketer?
This is into leg stump again. Rose will be disappointed that he's missed out on those 2 deliveries. You want to be getting those away. Half volleys on leg stump. It's a deep square along with a deep point. Nick Burrows made 878 runs in ACT Premier Cricket last year, so healthy campaign. Average just a tick under 40. Oakley bowling his 3rd ball, the 2nd over. It's full again. Mistime drive is another dot. Also had an opportunity in second 11 cricket. Nick Burrows wasn't able to make any significant scores, but undoubtedly that experience will set him up well for the upcoming summer.
Already they seem a little bit rattled, the ACT Comets, and for good reason. 2 of their big hitters already back in the shed.
Does get this one away. 2 deep square for a single. That will bring Joseph on strike to face his first ball. Akshay Joseph batting in the middle order. What intent will he look to come out? Is it the counter attack, or will he just play himself in with plenty of overs and balls remaining?
I think, yeah, mission number 1 at the moment for those 2 would just be don't drop another quick wicket. Establish yourself, anchor yourself into that pitch.
Left outside the off stump there. .300s for Joseph in the ACT Premier Cricket season last year. Top score of 145. Knows how to bat for long periods. No ball, so a free hit. An opportunity for the ACT to put a bit of pressure back onto the strikers. Field can't change, so a chance to free the arms.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that the Strikers had a pretty disappointing loss last night. They would have lost a lot of ground in terms of their run rate. Maybe they're sensing an opportunity here to make it back because they've started this game on fire.
Think back to that catch from Winter, the perfect start, showing support for your bowlers. You can often get a sense of the energy and the team by how they field. They've certainly started on the right foot here today, the Strikers. Not easy backing up from a night game to the morning game. So they've obviously reviewed, done the prehab work required, and here they go. Free hit. Length ball, hit, smash through mid-off. That'll be the first boundary. Well done, Joseph. Was able to advance down, free his arms, got enough of it to beat mid-off, and that's our first boundary for today.
Yep, 6 from the over now. They take their score to 8, and they'd probably be a little bit more settled by that boundary. Obviously, still a long, long way to go. But made the most of that, or nearly made the most of that boundary. 4 runs from it.
Certainly take that. 2 from 8 after 2. 2 overs in the power play remaining, and we're on a hat trick here. Thompson taking 2 in 2 to close out the first over. Great caught at slip to take the first wicket for the key wicket of Keogh. First ball, swung it back down the line. It's judged to just be clipping the top of leg stump. So we've got a slip in play. Short third is also potentially a catching position. Backward square. 2 fielders remain out. Can we have the first hat trick? This top end series. Short. Tried to pull it away. Nice carry and bounce through this DXC wicket. One of the best in Australia to bat on for mine, Will. See so many runs out here, but it still offers enough pace and bounce and even spin for the bowlers. Curators have just done an outstanding job. The amount of cricket that we've had played through this Darwin dry season. Bros, 2 off 6. Needs to get going. It's another dot.
This is the 9th game here at DXC Arena of the tournament, and as you mentioned, it's not just this tournament which is seeing cricket played on this ground. It's all throughout, with the Pint Cricket Club based themselves here at DXC Arena. A lot of cricket being played on these greens, and yeah, they're looking very good.
So Bros needs to put those 2 wickets behind him. Just need to keep going in today's T20 cricket. Strays down leg stump for a wide. So for those viewers tuning in, being a territory, ACT to not play in the first class cricket in Australia, so no Sheffield Shield or Iobi Cup one-day team, but they do field a team in their second 11 competition, so a lot of their promising talent from their ACT Premier Cricket gets to play on that stage against those trying to build careers in domestic first-class cricket. It's a little loose outside off stump. On review flashes, but just a little bit timid from Bros. You can sort of sense on the back foot, maybe struggling for a little bit of confidence, timing. Sometimes the best way is to just hit yourself into form. He's got the field up. It's a good wicket. Ball's coming on nicely. How will he respond? Again, just happy to let the ball glide off the face to short third, but with the fielder in the ring, there's no easy single there. Just finding it hard to rotate the strike here, Bros. Another excellent over from Thompson. Look at those figures. 2 for 3 as he's closing out his second. Perfect start for the Adelaide Strikers. And there is the big swing. There you go. Take the risk. Sometimes it comes off. Wasn't timed, but short third was in the circle. Skied top edge. Allows Bros to come back for 2, and well, I think that's a better sign of aggression and intent.
Yeah, you can, I guess, as a team who started the way the Comets have, you can get a little bit in your head and thinking like we just don't want to get out, and you don't want to do that too much and compromise how many runs you're actually scoring as well. They sort of need to stay grounded but make sure they're also impacting the scoreboard as well. As you said, that's just great intent to show that mentally they're not backing off too much. Great first 2 overs for Thompson.
Closes out now. This one's back of the length. Oh, and again, excellent fielding at slip from Winter. He's taken an excellent catch in the first over. Now to close out the third, he's saved 4, diving to his left-hand side. So, strikers, 2 early wickets after 3. They're on top. Looking for the ACT to respond. Take the game up to this Adelaide Strikers outfit.
2 for 11 for Campbell, for the team. 2 for 5 for Campbell Thompson. That's the best bowling for him so far this tournament. Also in his previous 2 games, he missed the first one of the Strikers tournament, but against Perth Scorchers, 1 for 10, and against Pakistan last night, 0 for 27. So he'd be very happy with his 2 for 5 at the moment.
Oakley to continue. Airport end. Bowling to Joseph. Full toss. Doesn't get that one away. Again, could there just be a little bit more aggression there? If you're looking to score, full toss with mid-off, mid-on up inside the ring, you're looking to hit that back over the bowler's head. So just in their shells a little bit here, ACT. Understandable, but the lessons, the development that they will be seeking is to learn how to take the game on. The modern T20 players, they have the ability to lose the fear of failure. Back your skills. Advances now. Again, hits that over. Deep third. Doesn't get all of it, but with the fielder inside the ring, they're able to come back for 2. Advancing down. Last over of this power play. They'll really be looking to try and take 10 or more off it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good opportunity for them. They don't want to let it pass them by. Currently sitting on 2 for 13. That's just not enough from these power surge overs that they have at the start of the innings.
Again, back of the length, quick single, knock to the offside. The challenge for the ACT is that strikers will still have Harry Manenti through the middle overs. Experienced Big Bash campaigner. Also plays with the Italian team. Has taken 7 wickets thus far in the campaign. Also performing really well in last year's top end series. Bros on strike. Work to deep point for a single. So able to rotate. Got a left and right hand combination at the crease, which is ideal. Forcing the bowlers to adjust their line and lengths.
Probably want at least 2 more boundaries still here, Carl. Got to take him up to above 20. Still at a pretty slim and slender run rate so far, but at least to give them something they can try and propel off.
Wild slash at that, short and wide, misses out Joseph, but he has looked as though he's willing to take the bowlers on. Comes to the crease with good intent, stands down a couple of times, that 4 through mid-off, another one that's skewed over. Short third, got 1 ball remaining in the power play. The length, another quick single to close out. So the strikers will be thrilled with their start after 4 overs. It's 2 for 16. What can the ACT do through these middle overs to try and set a platform to push hard through the power surge and later overs?
Campbell, Thompson obviously playing the starring role so far, but don't discount Tim Oakley. They have 2 very good overs as well. 6 off his first and 5 off his second. He'd be very happy with his 11 off 2 overs so far.
Super economical start, so looks like we'll have a change. McMillan's Road End. Aubrey Stockdale. Right arm medium. So we see the field retreat, largely set square and behind. Joseph on strike. Full and straight top ball to start. Just to confirm that field, it is a deep point, deep third, deep fine and deep square leg. Selecting to keep an additional fielder in the ring whilst they're well on top here. The Adelaide Strikers. Captained today by Harry Menenti. Experienced Harry Nielsen, the gloves. This one's shorter, down the leg side. Unable to get any bat on that. Umpires signalled wide. Stockdale had a huge premier season in the SACA, the South Australian Cricket Association. Took 56 wickets at 16, including a huge haul of 8 for 38. Guided down to deep third. They push the first one hard, but there won't be a 2. Difficult to find the 2s here, Will. It's a quick outfield and not as big as TIO Stadium.
Yeah, it has been a pretty consistent outfield in, I guess, the sense of not too many threes. You saw a few yesterday from Scorcher's side who were just sort of stealing runs everywhere, but apart from that, mainly ones, the odd 2 here or there, and very rarely a 3 just when it's sort of been placed perfectly. Even then, they've usually been risky 3s as well.
Beaten, well bowled. Rose stuck on the crease. Again, probably looking to glide down to deep third. That was well bowled by Stockdale. Strong unit. Getting through the crease nicely there. So Bros under pressure at 5 off 13. How will he respond? Again defending.
Told to go.
Well, inside edge gets him off strike. Well, often they talk about matchups in T20 cricket, so maybe Bros Joseph decided that spin will be the option that he looks to attack, and Joseph will take on the quicks and medium paces.
Yeah, potentially, and I guess when you're sitting bottom of the table after 4 games, you sort of need to look at, I guess, those alternative benefits you can get from these sorts of games, and maybe that's what they're looking at, trying to make sure that as a batting pair, wherever it is throughout the order, that they're just working out a plan and trying to stick to it as much as they can.
Advancing again, tries to heave that back over the bowler's head. Just took himself away from the line of the ball a little bit. Just made it hard to make contact. So that's another dot, of which there have been plenty to start this innings.
Yeah, just the 1 boundary as well so far, and only 2 twos. Otherwise, it's been very, very slim pickings.
Joseph still looks, though, as if he's willing to take the bowler on. Looks like Stockdale to close out. Shorter, Slade over, deep third. It's gone fine, and that will be another 4. So, again, the risk paying off for Joseph. Swung hard at that back of the length ball. Got enough bat to sky over the keeper, over the slips, and run away for 4. Again, sometimes you take it on, you swing hard enough, and luck will go in your favour.
Yeah, Joseph just starting to build nicely now. 13 off 12, tracking it more than a runner ball. Bro's just the one I'm a little worried about. 6 off 14, and yes, he's been there from the start. He's seen 2 batsmen go down in very quick succession early, but also wants to make sure that he's not forgetting how to make runs himself.
Yeah, I would have thought the coaching staff, John O'Dean and the like, would rather be bowled out for 120 than face the allotted overs and make 120. So sometimes you've just got to take it on, live or die by the sword, as we see spin introduced. Juris Wadia coming in from the airport end, left arm orthodox. Three deep on the leg side, 2 on the offside, all in front of the wicket. It's flat through the air, grabs a bit of pad, just struggling for a little bit of timing. Bros, we've seen him miss a few off his pads here. Just needs to try and work those away at least for a single. Get Joseph back on strike, who's doing well. This can be the partnership to build for the ACT. Again, flat and bowled. To push back onto the back foot, just wasn't quite short enough. Left arm orthodox, just spinning into the stumps. Burrows is having to depart. He's made 6 off 16. As we see the strikers come in to celebrate. Burrows makes his way back off. He'll have a little bit to reflect on. That innings is difficult when you've lost a couple of early wickets and expected to continue to score. So we just see this one just shoot through. Gave himself a little bit of room. This wasn't quite short or wide enough to cut. Wadia's introduction sees a wicket, second ball. Good start for him.
Yeah, fantastic start for the young all-rounder. And maybe this will be something that can just sort of spurn on the ACT side. 3 early wickets. Bros, even though he's out there he's been out there the whole time, faced 16 balls. He just never really quite looked settled out there. Maybe with some fresh legs in there to partner up with Joseph, they can build something here.
Tom Hogan, another emerging talent from the ACT, is held in high regard. So what can he do to steer this ship back on course? ACT striving for their first win in match number 5, this top end series. We'll have plenty of time to bat. YD has just claimed his second wicket of the tournament. Around the wicket. Full. Knocks back to the bowler.
Hogan, I would say, is probably the ACT's player of the tournament so far. He hasn't done anything sort of super outlandish. Didn't quite reach heights with the bat that Zach Keogh did.
It's another dot as this one is flat and quick into leg stump.
But he has been very consistent. Knocks of 24 and 34, and also with the ball, 1 for 13. His best bowling doesn't sound huge, but he's been pretty good elsewhere as well. And yeah, just been quite consistent over the 4 games they've played so far. So really liking what he's putting together.
Quick single. Oh, keeper Nielsen had a chance to shy, elected to hold on to it. Did have protection behind him. Might have thought the bowler was standing in the way. Kept that one in the pocket.
Wasn't a huge fan of that hesitate there, Carl. But yeah, no, really enjoying what Hogan's building, and hopefully he can continue going the same way today.
A wicket and only 1 run off his first over. Wadia closes out. Well, it's well bowled again. I think a little bit of an inside edge as the appeal went up, but that's an impressive start from the young left arm orthodox. Strikers continuing on their way as they seek to claim back some net run rate. ACT 3 for 25 after 6.
That run rate at 4.17, nowhere near enough. Though it is a funny game, as you do often hear about T20.
Yep, well, momentum can change quickly. Can Joseph be the one? One big over, 15 or 20, can really change the complexion of that scoreboard and the feeling in this match.
Some great bowling figures early up, just the 6 overs, only 25 runs conceded. Look at that from Wadia and from Thompson, the 2 wicket takers so far.
Stockdale, back to the crease. Worked off the pads. They're on the first one hard again. They've taken it on. That's good running. Well done, Joseph. Took the fielder on. Pushed out of the crease and made that comfortably. He's impressed with his first 15 balls at the crease.
Yeah, absolutely classy. Top order batsman who plays for Manly in the New South Wales Premier Competition. Big season over the 2024-25 season. He hit 1,600 runs at 37, including 300. So hoping he'll be able to ton up today.
Tries to cut this one. It's a second time. Stockdale's got some good bounce. Promising prospect. Wide shoulders. Stocky, strong unit. Looking to add to that wickets column. If you can keep the wickets tumbling, strikers will really be able to restrict that. Try and chase it down as quickly as possible. Seeing a change in the field. Deep third is coming in. Deep long on going out. Be a change of pace. It is. Just a single 2 point. Stockdale's taken 4 wickets through the tournament. Economy of 6 after 8 overs. So in his first top end series campaign, he's impressed. Just having a look at the Big Bash squad for the Adelaide Strikers. They still have 3 spots remaining, so undoubtedly the coaches and selectors will be keeping a close eye on these performances. Single, they'll push for 2. They will get that as the deep third fielder dives away.
Great fielding out there on the boundary line. Desperation to prevent the boundary.
So they've brought 3 contracted players, Mackenzie Harvey, Alex Ross, Harry Nielsen. While their returning overseas player, Jamie Overton, will be looking for a big bash, joined by Hassan Ali and Luke Wood, the upcoming BBL 15. Hogan's off the mark. Score a century for the ACT in against Victoria in the second 11 competition. Certainly highly skilled with the blade. Deep third's gone back. Mid on up against inside the ring, so we've got fielder square and behind out deep. Cramped for room as he advances there, Joseph. Stockdale's been able to find a nice line and length as he concludes his second over. None for 14. Score 3 for 32 after 7.
And it has been a nervy start for the ACT Comets. Obviously losing 2 wickets in the first over doesn't help, but even aside from that, that horror show happened 6 overs ago now, and even then the calling between wickets has been a little bit hesitant. There's been a little bit of reluctance as well. Ultimately hasn't proved too untimely yet. None of those wickets coming from run-outs, but you feel like they've been close a couple of times here, Carl.
Soft and excellent first over from Wadia. He's been removed. They're throwing the ball around. Tom O'Connell, the leg spinner. It's short, wide. Not sure if that was an edge or just out of the gloves. Nielsen will wait for confirmation from the umpire. Well, it's just a little edge. Hogan gets down the other end. So actually Joseph striking at 100 through this campaign, 58 runs with a high score of 43. He's only had the 2 hits. Well, for Tom Hogan, striking under 100, so that will be a little bit of a watch for him. So he looks to improve his T20 stroke play. Here's the reverse sweep, and that's got over the top, so well played. Spinning away to the boundary. Will get collected. They'll think about a third, and they're coming again. Great running from Joseph. Last couple of overs, he's been willing to take on the danger end, take on the arm. He gets back nicely for 3. Sign of intent. The skill set of young Tom Hogan.
Squeeze through that rare 3, Carl.
Yes. Yeah, we said we wouldn't see many of them. This one's shorter, pulled to the leg side. Couldn't quite find the gap. Actually, Joseph. Hogan on strike. This one's flighted, Fuller, down to mid-off. This is the 5th innings for Hogan, sitting at 74 runs, top score of 34, so a great opportunity for him to build on that. And bowled. Well bowled, O'Connell. Joseph looked to dance down, work to the leg side, beaten in flight. Ball bet the outside edge, knocked into the stumps. As the strikers take their 4th.
Yeah, just as he was starting to look pretty comfortable there, an untimely end for Akshay Joseph.
Through baton pad. Just tried to work it a little bit square to the leg spinner. Lovely delivery from O'Connell. He'll be happy with that. Adds himself to the wicket takers. Another tidy over. 1 wicket and the 6 runs. After 8 overs, the ACT are 4 for 38 under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, really, really good start for the Adelaide Strikers. This clash reads 11th versus 10th, but you don't quite feel like Adelaide Strikers are down there yet. And with the result earlier today, Hobart Hurricanes going down to the Melbourne Renegades, a win here from the Strikers would put them above them and potentially above a few other sides, depending on if they can make up on the run rate deficit they suffered last night.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone would be ruling out the Strikers just yet. 3 games to play. Plenty of quality in their lineup. Facing the Renegades tomorrow, so that will be a crucial clash. You'd think the loser of that will struggle to make the top 4 come finals day this Sunday. So top 4, 1v4, 2v3, playing in the morning for the final in the afternoon here at DXC Arena. Fantastic tournament, amount of interest, the talent on display. Whitey's flipped ends. Single first ball to Hogan.
Their batting lineup looking a little bit thicker today. Locally playing with Tracy Village, SM Raman. I think he's the next in behind McNamara. He's been pretty handy as well, just I think with his local knowledge too, Carl, but been pretty impressed with what he's been to show. Have felt like he hasn't quite lived up to expectations yet, so he would be hoping that he can get there today.
Yep, Mikey McNamara. Top score's only 8 after 3 hits so far, so again, we keep talking about the opportunities for the individuals through this ACT team. The amount of eyes on this tournament, you may just be 1 innings away from creating a career. Ooh, given. First ball, Whitey is impressed. Left arm orthodox, just a little nick. Nielsen, the keeper, was able to hold on to it. Not sure if it was in the gloves or between the legs, but the important thing is that the ball didn't hit the ground. The umpire had no hesitation once he confirmed the catch was controlled, and that's another one to depart for the ACT. It's actually a great catch. Hard taking the outside edge there. I think that's spun. Saw McNamara just losing his balance, completely deceived in flight and turn. Liking what we're seeing from young Jerseys Wadia.
Yeah, another one who's had a really good start, and that's ugly reading for the ACT Comets, unfortunately. Joseph, 20, the top scorer so far. No one else has really gotten close. Tom Hogan, 9 off 9 at the moment, hoping he can build something. But the single and the 2 ducks to Keogh and to McNamara really hurt.
Won't get any easier for the ACT Comets in their last game. They'll come up against the Melbourne Stars, who's got plenty of firepower at the top, along with some young, impressive bowlers. So, what can they do? Still a lot to be gained. Rahman coming in. So the fields come up as they look to heap more pressure onto this ACT middle order. Mid-on is inside the ring. Looks like we've only got the 3 of the allotted 5 fielders out. Slips in play. Can't quite get that one past the bowler.
Really good bowling here from Wadia.
Another dot.
Tension already feels pretty palpable out there. I feel like something's gonna go here.
Slight change in the field with the turn Wadia is creating. Deep Fine's gone over to deep third. Some more strength behind point. Slogs that one. Down on one knee. Out to the vacant mid-on area. The ball's trickling away. So good from Rahman. His 4th ball is a boundary to close out the 9th over.
And there's that circuit breaker. 1 for 5 off the over, so still not great for the Comets. But Rahman and Hogan, probably their 2 top performers of the tournament so far, along with Zach Keogh. And great boundary. That's just their 3rd of the match so far. They'll be wanting to build on that.
So, after taking a wicket in his first over, O'Connell to continue. Player of the match in the final of last year's top end series. Bowling to Hogan. Another dot just outside off stump. Hogan was unable to get the cut away. This one's a bit shorter and down leg. Don't want to get any bat on those, fortunately for Hogan. Just goes through into the gloves for a wide. Just drag that one down. O'Connell. Here's the reverse again. This time it's a bit more uppish a chance, the backward third. And that is well held as the fielder came across. Hogan got one of those away earlier, but this time it brings about his undoing. Taking a bit of a risk, trying to hit the leg spinner O'Connell. Deep third, this time just couldn't find the middle of the bat. It was a looping delivery. O'Connell thought he had him early with the finger up well before the ball was caught. He's claimed his 2nd. Hogan departs for 9.
Oh dear. 5 for 44 at the moment, and that's in fact it's 6 for 44 now. It's pretty tough reading. But as you said, Carl, they prefer to go out swinging like that than to to just pander out and cruised through their allotted overs for not too much.
Agree with you, Will. Nothing to be gained by just knocking the ball around for 20 overs. Only way you'll learn is if you continue to push yourself, test your limits, your boundaries. I don't think Hogan has necessarily made a decision error there, just an execution. And you can live with those.
And you can learn from them as well, gain from them. We're a bit disappointed at the moment, but all good learnings from this clash.
A little minor target for the ACT. Strikers currently hold the lowest total of the series with 95 last night against the Shaheens. So, still got a bit of work to do to get there, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Still got plenty of work there. More than half their wickets and not quite half of that total. But they'd be confident. You'd like to think that they're optimistic that they can get there. In comes the captain now, Scott Mearn.
Connell continues. This one's full toss. Single mid-off. Will come back for two. And he's off a strike. Love talking about the connection to the local Darwin competition here. A lot of these players having spent time up in the dry season. Tom O'Connell having spent a season with Southern Districts back in 2022. Another two to Mearn, cut backward a point.
Yeah, and it's unique conditions up here as well. You can almost predict. I'll have a quick look at the exact temperature, but this time of year you're getting 30 degrees and 35% humidity every day, almost bang on the dot.
Nice gentle blurries. Again, it's able to work that out to the sweeper and just jog through for one.
I imagine that those players who have played up here before, like O'Connell, even if just for a season, and looking at some of the teams playing for local teams at the moment as well, they'd just be a little bit more match ready, I think, and used to the conditions up here. They can be a little bit different.
One round to go in the A-grade competition. Lots of teams vying for the final spot. Rahman on strike. Another dot to close out. O'Connell's second. His figures are looking very healthy. 2 for 12. ACT 6 for 49. The halfway mark of the first innings.
And so far, 3 of their bowlers have 2 wickets each. Campbell Thompson with 2 in that first over of the innings, and Wardia and O'Connell also with 2 each. Some fantastic bowling figures there. Aubrey Stockdale, he's going an economy of 7, which for most teams that's probably their best bowling figures for the day. This is their worst, so having a really good day with the ball so far. Looking at the win viz there, 96% in favour of the Strikers. They have started this looking for redemption after their slow start to the tournament, albeit they are still about a game behind everyone at least.
Wardia to Mearn. Ooh, sent back, looked to be comfortable single, showing that not quite on the same page. There's some doubt running through this batting lineup for the ACT. Mearn's looked okay in his first 5 balls. He's been able to get the ball out to the sweepers. Second dot, so what's important sometimes, just take those runs when they're on offer. Now Mearn will be starting to feel a bit of pressure. Consecutive dot balls. This one is to the left of backward point. What a fielder. Mackenzie Harvey will arguably got the 2 best fielders in the Big Bash here for the top end series with Jordan Silk and Mackenzie Harvey.
Yeah, great representation from that top competition in Australia with the bat as well. I think looking at the Renegades, couldn't believe I saw Sutherland and Brown there. Just fantastic to have these sorts of players up here this August.
Yeah, no, certainly seeing some high caliber players that have performed on big stages, mixing it amongst the emerging domestic and international talent. in this top end series. This one's down leg. Nielsen can't get on anything there, so that'll be wide. They'll run away to the boundary, so a little bit of pressure relieved. Mighty just straying down leg there.
Haven't had too many blemishes with the ball today either, the strikers. I think in this competition, because there are quite a few academy teams just trying new things, you can see quite a few, but really tight today.
See another dot. Rolling out to Nielsen there. Excellent gloveman in Australian cricket. Son of former Australian coach Tim Nielsen. Single down to mid-off brings Rahman back on strike to continue the thread of the local Darwin connection. Rahman applying his trade with Tracy Village in the A grade. Got a 78 against Nightcliff earlier in the season. Just see the umpires coming together. It's going to be O'Connell to continue.
That over, the ACT Comets made 8 from it, keeping in mind that 5 of those were off that wide, which turned into a boundary line as well. But that is their highest scoring over so far this innings, which, again, you don't want to rub too much salt into the wounds, but for a lot of teams that's sort of been towards the lower end of their run totals.
Haven't quite got going. What can the Captain Mullen do? Shorter and quicker from O'Connell to start the 12th. Tosses up his next ball, half-hearted from Mern. Beats the bat, goes through to the keeper. Sweeps this one. It's a little bit on it, going down fine to the boundary. The fielder will just collect. We'll see another 3.
Have been some signs in today's innings and across the tournament really for what has been, I guess, not the most exciting or successful tournament for the Comets, but yeah, there have definitely been signs that they're on the right track and they've got some talent in their side. It just needs a little bit more time to develop.
Short, cut out 2.41. Mentioned O'Connell, the player of the match in the final last year. That was largely due to his batting display. Round up. Originally from Victoria, now calling South Australia home. Unable to get that full toss away, so probably got away with a couple there, O'Connell. And still trying to find his rhythm at the crease. They've faced a few now, Mern and Rahman. They will be thinking potentially about a power surge, 2 overs with only 2 out. Can that bring the ACT Comets back into the game?
And at the end of the day as well, Carl, it doesn't really matter how much they score as long as they can contain their opposition to less. 6 for 61, not the easiest total to defend, but if they can add a little bit more to this, get it into triple figures and make a little bit more of a dent after that, then maybe it does all of a sudden become a defendable score.
You're exactly right, Will. I mean, we're talking about a team here, the Strikers, yes, they've got some great players, but they were bowled out for 95 last night, so a couple of early wickets in reply, you can put their middle order under some pressure. Thompson, left arm around. Another single. One's back of a length defender to cover. Just need something for a bit of belief, a bit of hope, something to spark him here. Can Rahman be the one? Send a few over the rope. Thompson, 2 wickets in the first over. Impressive start. From the left arm quick. He's in again. Advancing, heaved out to the leg side. Protection there. Alright, single.
And he really set this innings up, didn't he, in that first over? He conceded 2 runs, off 1 each off the second and third ball, and then took 2 wickets to close it out. Really just sort of blew the Comets away. And they've never really looked settled since then. Starting to build something now, but just not piling on the runs as quick as they need to.
Single to mid-wicket. And getting off strike there. Registered 223 runs at an average of 44 in second 11 cricket last season for the ACT. So he goes about rebuilding this innings with Rahman. Heaved over the offside, doesn't get much of it, but will allow them to come back for at least a couple. Looks like it's trickled over the boundary, so good aggression from Rahman, just to open the front leg, threw the sink at it, didn't get near the middle, but his quick DXC ground, the outfield slopes away, so as soon as the ball gets away from the fielder, it's every chance of going for 4.
Rahman, as we mentioned, playing locally for Tracy Village.
He's 11 off 10. This one's down leg. Another wide. Started to see a few more extras creep in. Strikers bowling.
Has tried for a Sydney Thunder rookie spot as an under 16. All-rounder from Queen Bean.
Down leg again, this time tickled down fine. I think that'll run away as well. You won't catch that. Oh, he does. Great effort. Hanno Jacobs, athletic. Thought that ball was going to get away from him. He closed it down quickly. Full length dive. Was able to scoop that back from the boundary. Good support for his bowler. It's all athletic. Used all of his wingspan. Thompson to close out the 13th. Just another single to mid-on. Strikers well on top. Haven't had to use Captain Harry Manenti today, who's the player of the tournament for Italy in the European qualifiers. Italy have qualified for next year's T20 World Cup to be played in India and Sri Lanka. What a thrill.
Yeah, it's fascinating looking at the, I guess, the rise of cricket in that country. He'd be playing there with Joe Burns as well, former Australian Test opener, who I think is the captain of that Italian side now. But yeah, that really intriguing to see just how far they can rise.
Strong connections with the Duvenidos, who are well known in Australian cricket as well. Great to see how the Italians perform on the global stage. O'Connell's short, pulled out 4-1.
This will be his final over, O'Connell. Currently at 2 for 17.
Ball is timed.
And his best bowling by a long way so far. 1 for 34 last night, and none for 14 in their first game on Sunday.
Sweeps this one out, straight to mid-wicket. So somewhat of a partnership here for Mern and Rahman. Faced 16 and 13 collectively. Slow. To mid-wicket for a single. Just about a couple, maybe an over or two more. Try and take that power surge, capitalise, and then maybe 2 or 3 overs to finish with a couple of wickets in the shed. Can that get the ACT to a defendable total? Another dot to O'Connell, who's been excellent. Shorter and wider, out to point for a single. Connell took the wickets of Hogan and Joseph earlier today. Joseph currently top scoring. He had 20 off 20 with 2 fours. Fortunately, there hasn't been a lot of boundaries to talk about. Only 4 fours in total. Rahman has the other 2. Yet to see a ball sail the fence. Mern and Rahman do. We might see Oakley reintroduced. This time from the McMillan's Road end.
None for 11 so far in that opening power play. Yet to be activated, that second power surge by the ACT Comets.
Just working across his stumps, eases that onto the leg side for 1. We started well from the airport end. The 11 coming off his first 2 overs in the power play. Another excellent wicket here at DXC Arena. Continuing to see good pace and bounce. Rahman for the second time sends the captain Mern back.
He was keen for it.
Yeah, brave.
And what these two current batters do seem to be doing well is also adding runs at the moment. Still not heaps, but they're somewhat going at 1 for 1. A little bit under for Mern. But Bros, who was in, he only managed 6 off 16, and obviously a little rattled with those early wickets. They just couldn't get any firepower from their top order today. Mern to the leg side. Had their challenges, this batting unit, throughout this campaign. Mern's currently striking at 85 across 4 hits. No doubt coming in similar situations, but top score of 23. He'll be looking to go well past that. 5 and a bit overs remaining today. We mentioned earlier, strikers were bowled out for 95 last night, so don't consider this match all done and dusted. ACT Comets just need to post a score. This one's working its way to the ring. They come back. Mern was a little late to go, but throw goes to the keeper's end. Just talk about those run rates again. Hassan Rahman's had 3 hits, striking at 70 with a top score of 20. So again, great opportunity. Balls remaining to improve on that return.
make a contribution for his side. Good bat and pad in that one. Rahman has made his way to 20. Better than a runner ball. Five bowlers used so far by the strikers. Overs remaining to Thompson, Stockdale, Wilder and Oakley. We'll have Stockdale's got 2, the others with 1 after this ball.
They are getting closer to that 95 minimum maximum set by the Adelaide strikers last night.
Down leg, one hand from Nielsen. Didn't give it the full dive, just a little bit of a cartwheel. And that's the 7th wicket. Sort of half-hearted from the Adelaide strikers as they're well on top in this game. Oakley straying down leg, back of a length ball. Mern just had to help it on its way. If it hadn't have found the outstretched arm of Nielsen, it would have gone away for 4. But the experienced gloveman did enough to hold on.
Yeah, man, I'd be disappointed with that, but he did play an interesting role today. He came in when the ship was already sort of going down, and as the captain, it can be, I guess, a hard proposition to come into. 15 off 20, did what he could to try and steady it, but a lot of the damage already done.
So we see the skipper depart back to the sheds. Adelaide strikers taking some hydration. Warm conditions in Darwin, especially coming from Adelaide this time of year. Take a break. We'll also acknowledge a number of fantastic partners and sponsors here for this top end series. Sponsored by NT Tourism, Major Events, the NT Government, along with Bet365, Thrifty, to name a few. Let's take a look at this catch. Nice work down the leg-hand side. Nielsen moved well, did enough to grasp that in his left hand. Veteran wicketkeeper adds a dismissal to his tally.
Now well and truly into the tail end. Kai Brunker coming in at number 9.
What will his approach be? Have some time in the middle or get straight to it?
So far managed knocks of 5, 2 and 3, so be hoping you can build on that.
See if we can get Kyle to double figures. As we said, first target's to get past 95. I think the next one would be 120 and at least set a target of a runner ball for the Adelaide strikers.
For a while, what wasn't looking like they'd get close to that 95. They've done good to recover here.
Idea, airport end. Mid-on's up, he's got some work to do. Doesn't get there, so mid-off comes around. Rahman adds 2. This one's gone fine. Short thirds chasing hard after that. He's got some work to do. Whoa, misjudged his feet as he looked to slide into the rope. Rahman gets that one away for 4 more. So Rahman's looking okay. Got himself a score, got a start. Can he go on?
Almost missed the opportunity to dive there and just had to commit to running after it and tumbled over the rope himself there, the fielder.
Yeah, a bit more of a fall than a dive. Idea. Gives himself some room. Single to backward. Point. Idea can also do the job with the bat. He's been very impressive with the ball. Made 425 at 25 last year in the Saka, along with 19 wickets at 31. Like what we see from this young spinning all-rounder. Straight up, straight to mid-on, putting the pressure on ACT mid-on is up inside the ring. Wouldn't conventionally see that at this stage of a T20. Oh, strikers well on top and striving to improve their net run rate. Foot's on the throat. Paddle sweep, beats short fine. Well done, Brunker. He's off the mark. Helps himself to 4. ID is getting a little bit of damage in his last over.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder if that 95 run mark is sort of maybe playing on the striker's mind as well. They'd be thinking it'd be great to not carry that mantle through the tournament. But now it almost seems like that's going to happen, just 3 runs off the ACT Comets.
Pushing hard for 2. They should get there as the fielder's got work to do. Yeah, I guess that 95 from the strikers is in reply to a score of over 200 by the Pakistan Shaheens. So they really just needed to keep going on with it after early wickets, whereas when you're batting first, no excuse for posting under 120. So ACT will have their eyes on that target as a minimum with 4 overs remaining.
And 13 from that over, the best return from the strikers so far in this innings. Slowly getting a little bit more confidence in their batting. Perhaps it is the fact that they're starting to run out of overs and they're starting to think we need to actually put up a competitive total. That 120 now feeling a little bit more plausible and even probable.
We've seen the power surge taken in the 16th. Only got 2 fielders out for the next 2 overs. Deep backward square and deep mid wicket, so 2 out on the leg side. Brunker on strike. Around the wicket, interesting. Oh, what's that shot? Went to go the lap over fine leg, didn't quite have it where he wanted. Thought about trying to get it over short third, I think, and got a little tangled there, Rahman. At least he's trying to play some shots. On strike again. Boundaries to the offside or back over the bowler's head. Full wide. Been off cutter just to the tram track outside off stump. 2 dots would not have been what Rahman had in mind taking the power surge, but still balls remaining to do some damage. Seeing the right arm around, not a tactic that's often used. Pretty much no chance of an LB. This one's hit through the offside, little outside edge is skewed past the fielder, races away for 4 more. Well done, Rahman. Gave himself a bit of room, ball was full again. The field was up on the offside, so just had to find the gap to help himself to 4 more and move to 31 off 23.
Yeah, slowly building and pretty nice tally here, Rahman.
He's done well there. That was full on leg stump. Get that away through backward point for 4. Good wrists. You see his open stance, front foot pointing out to leg. He's walking at the bowler now. Ooh, just a hand from cover stops that from going for 4 more. Rahman's starting to find his groove.
Previously, 20 off 25, his best against the Melbourne Renegades. He also went for a golden duck in Game 3 against NT Strike. So he'd be very happy with this. He's 32, or 31 now as it is.
So Oakley's elected to come back over the wicket to bowl to Brunker. No, might have been Rahman standing in the wrong spot for the unconventional approach. So it will be Oakley to continue around the wicket. No ball, and hit through the offside for 4. So a reprieve for the ACT as they look to post a competitive total. Been under all sorts of trouble early, but they're just starting to build. Oakley coming around the wicket. That one was a full toss, and Brunker really just had to find the middle and find the gap to help himself to 4 more.
That one brings up triple figures as well, Carl, which again was a tally you didn't think they would reach probably about halfway through, and for most of this inning so far, starting to put some nice overs together the last 30 balls.
Free hit. Wide. Trying to give himself some room. Got yorked. Hit that just out to mid-wicket for a single. So Oakley gets away without any further damage. He's got a ball remaining in his spell today. So Rahman, top score, 32 off 25, couple overs remaining. Can he kick on? Maybe work his way to a half century and a score that the ACT can look to defend. They're looking for their first win, match number 5. Fall into leg stump again, not allowing any room. That's a good finish from Oakley. Score is 7 for 105 after 17. 3 overs remaining, one of those being the second of the power surge.
And they've brought it back to a live game now, particularly given what Adelaide were able to muster last night. This is going to be an interesting second innings. You'd still think that the strikers are in box seat, but Comets have built nicely with that 32 to Rahman and the 20 to Joseph, with a few decent knocks through the middle there as well. Scott Mearn, different sort of leadership, but plays his role today as well.
Stockdale from the airport end to bowl the second of the power surge. Looks like hitting with the wind, so mid off and mid on are back, along with the mid wicket. Third and fine are up. Another Yorker, done that well in this power surge. Oakley and now Stockdale hitting the paint, the base of the stumps. Often the hardest ball to get away for a batter. Wonder if Brunker will predict the same again. Maybe look to go for the ramp with Fine inside the ring. Will he back himself to go downtown? Does step across, try and get it fine. Just probably moved a bit too much there, Brunker. Still important to keep your head still and watch the ball. He was jumping out the way while he tried to catch up with that one from Stockdale, who's bowled really well today. Lively, pace and bounce. Yeah, to take a wicket, but he still played an important role.
Yeah, nice build here from Brunker. 11 off 7.
This one gives himself room, tries to mow it over mid-wicket. It's a bit of an outside edge. Helps himself to 2.
Prior to today, he had just the 10 runs over 3 games, so he'd be happy with a return of 13, more than doubles his output for the tournament. Probably not what he and I guess the coaches are looking at from him. Obviously a bowler by trade, but he's played his role here as well in trying to just beef up this ACT Comets tally.
This one's into the wicket, gets a bit of it. Back over the bowler's head. Midon's got work to do. Does pretty well to just parry that back down. And even stops a third. Well fielded. Ryan King out in the deep. Long on. Tidy shot though from Bronco. Starting to feel comfortable. He's made his way to 15 off 9. A little cameo from the tail ender. As we've said, individual moments can matter a lot for these players. Steps across again. It's not a bad idea with fine leg up, just unable to find the execution. That one was a little bit wider. Hard to get all the way across. Got one ball remaining in the power surge. ACT have just started to steady. 3 wickets remaining for the final 2 overs at this point. Try and help themselves to 10 or 15 off both of those overs. We've got a game. This time again, probably trying to go a bit too leg side. Again, a stifled appeal. Well done by Nielsen, the keeper. Little inside edge. Going down to his inside. Well held. Stockdale does get into the wickets column. He's bowled well. 1 for 18 off 3. Can imagine that he will close out the final over. Take a look back. Brunker looked to slog that to the leg side. Little inside edge. Nielsen knew there was a tickle on that. So after a little partnership, ACT are now 8 for 109. Got 12 balls remain.
Nielsen been involved in it a lot today. Had a very good day behind the wickets. Caught at least 3. There might have been a 4th one in there as well. But Stockdale adds his name to the list of wicket takers. And what's been a pretty well-rounded performance from the Adelaide strikers.
Started with 2 wickets in the first over to Campbell Thompson, who's coming back to bowl the 19th. Left armer took the big wicket. Zach Keogh. First ball of the last ball of the first over. He had 2 in 2. After earlier taking Zach Moran, caught that slip. Great little catch off Winter. So it'll be Thompson to Evans. Once full. Slow ball. Hit out to mid-off. Turn throw, just make contact with the batter, but no damage done. So Rahman holds the key. He'll be looking to force the majority of these remaining deliveries. Mid-off, mid-on a back. Fine leg, deep third up. So the field is set square and straight. Thompson's over the wicket. Slow ball again. That's nicely bowled. Unable to find the timing there. There's Evans. He'll have a big job to do with the ball, Lewis Evans. He's done well so far for this ACT team. Taken 7 wickets. Economy of 5.3 is excellent across 8 overs. So looking forward to seeing him with the ball. He's got a job to do with the bat before that. This one's down leg. Worked over. Backward to square. Whoop. So the fielder just has a little stumble.
Eight down with an over and a half remaining here for the ACT Comets, and might get the best of both worlds from a pretty bad situation, or at least what was shaping up to be one. Might see out their allotted 20 overs, but they haven't gone down without a fight.
This one's skied up into the air. The fielder gets under it, protects himself from the sun, manages to hold on to it. Safely held from Winter, who's fielded well. Great catch at slip. Another diving save, saved 4. That's another catch there. The bowling of Thompson, who's got great figures now at 3 for 18. And Rahman, who did well to get a score of 30. Fortunately, couldn't continue through to the death. I think that's another slower ball. They look to be getting bowled at the back of the hand. Just sometimes creates extra bounce, a bit of top spin. That one right up into the sun. Winter did well. Now only the 1 wicket remaining for ACT, so they might have been eyeing off 120, 130 at one stage for the loss of Brunker and Rahman recently. Another excellent over. Thompson, a wicket. Only 2 runs off the first 4 balls of the 19th over.
Might have spoken a little bit early that last ball. Still got an over and a half to go, an over and 2 balls and only 1 wicket in hand.
Yeah, Scully's come into the team for this match. Again, will have a bigger role to play with the ball. This one's short. Unable to find any timing. Good skill sets from Thompson. Action in this top End T20 Series continues. A big match to follow this. NT Strike, the Chicago Kingsmen. Both teams right at the top of the table. Before we have Bangladesh playing the Melbourne Stars to close out the Thursday's action. I'm sure you'll be tuning into those matches. This one's half hit to cover. He'll have a chance to run out. Doesn't hit. So Scully will be on strike for the last over. What can the ACT do to just add a little punch to this total? Mentioned that the Adelaide strikers will be looking to claim on a negative run rate, so that might bring the ACT into the game. You can expect some fireworks early to kick off the second innings. Take a look at the bowling card. Thompson's been excellent. Been impressed with the spin of Wadia and O'Connell. An all-round performance with the ball and in the field. You can see one of our teams training at the top of DXC Arena. Off to your right there is the Darwin Golf Club. Plenty of our players have been getting out there in their time off. Scully's full again into leg. This one's carved out to deep third for 4. Perfect start to the last over for the ACT. Just news coming through that Harry Manenti, the Adelaide Strikers skipper, has gone off the field. Appears to be a back issue, so wait for confirmation whether he will bat later in the second innings. So an interesting development for the experienced campaigner. Stockdale's wider this time. Scully looked to free himself some room. Just wasn't able to make contact over the off stump. Harry Manenti leads the run scoring for the Adelaide Strikers, so that could create some problems. Still got Jake Winter, Mackenzie Harvey. Some credentialed players at the top of the order, but we've got a game. This one's hit well out to mid-off, but straight to the fielder.
Stockdale at 1 for 22 here. Means he's got 5 wickets for the competition. Really good game against the Perth Scorchers, where he took 3 for 26, best bowling for the side for that game. Goes with 1 for 22 in the first game.
Big sign of faith in his skills. Trusted to close out this innings. He's got 3 balls remaining. Evans on strike. This one doesn't get much of it, but it might enable him to come back for 2. He's got work to do. Direct hit. Oh, it only just missed. Nice fielding by Wadia at mid-off. He thought he'd hit. Hands went in the air as that throw went in. So it looks like the ACT will get to that total of 120. That'll be required at least a runner ball. Can they do anything more with these last 2 balls? Wide. Outside off stump. Bowling from Stockdale. Getting out of the hitting zone. Really haven't bowled too much that the ACT could get after at all. Talked about the lack of boundaries in the innings. No sixes through this total. Only the 9 boundaries along the ground. 1 ball remains. Stockdale charging in. Full wide in the block hole again. Good execution and skills. And the striker's quick. He takes his hat. That concludes the first innings. Umpires knock off the bails. Strikers will be pleased, taking 9 for 120. Thompson did some early damage, taking 2 wickets in the first over for the spin duo. O'Connell and Wadia controlled the middle overs. Take a look back at the key moments. How about that catch from Jake Winter? Perfect start. Then the very next ball, big wicket of Keogh. ACT tried to counter-attack at times. Weren't able to get any real momentum throughout their innings.
Yeah, almost every time you thought that the ACT batters were going to build something and they just started to get a partnership, maybe only 10 or 15 runs, but better than they've been doing, they'd lose another wicket. Ultimately did a lot better than we thought they'd do. I think about halfway through, maybe even a bit earlier than that, they'd already lost about 6 wickets for about 40, and you thought, gee, they're going to be off for an early lunch. But in the end, 120 is defendable, and just as we saw in that innings, a few early wickets could change everything and really take momentum out of this match. The Comets really just playing for a bit of trial and error. Strikers still alive in this tournament, and you wonder if that's going to play anything with the mentalities of this second innings.
We'll be back after a short break. The Adelaide Strikers will be chasing 120, and in quick time, we'll see you then.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your potential can glide through boundaries and you can rack up runs in places you never imagined. Enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and help us build what's next. When this over is over, think about getting on a good wicket and consider studying in Australia's Northern Territory. Authorised by the Northern Territory Government, Darwin.
When you move here, it's not just for work, it's for life. Here, culture isn't something you leave behind. It's something you bring with you and share. Great jobs, no long commutes, and weekends that start as soon as Friday ends. From the red desert to the tropical north. This place doesn't just welcome you, it transforms you. Australia's Northern Territory. New boundaries, new territory.
Welcome back to DXC Arena. First ball, an appeal. Kenzie Harvey caught on the crease. Sam Skalke bowling from the McMillan's Road end. Strikers chasing 121. Keep their campaign on track. This is their 4th game, looking for their 2nd win. ACT match number 5, yet to register a win. So they'll attack from the start here. They've got a slip in play. Jake Winter, the batter at the non-striker. Scally continues from around the wicket. This one again, sort of skiddy action. Harvey's unable to find the middle of the bat. Backward square. Deep point, the 2 fielders out. My name's Carl Main. Joining me is Will Zwart. Will, what have we got in store for this 2nd innings?
Well, we thought the Comets would come out pretty fiery, and they have. They lost 2 wickets in the first over. They tried to claim there was one there on the first ball of their innings. They need to defend what in the end was a reasonable total of 120.
This one is work to point for a single. Harvey gets down the other end, bring Winter on strike.
It was looking like it could be a lot less than that for a large part of their innings. It did well to muster up 120 in the last 5 overs. They managed 41 runs, so yeah, really bolstered it up in the last quarter of their batting time today.
Sam Scully given the opportunity to open today for ACT, and the 1 wicket from 8 overs so far this tournament. Economy just under 10, so can he play a role today? Winter also finds a quick single to get off the mark. Top score of 35 from 2 hits for Jake Winter. He was the top scorer for the Strikers in last year's Premiership winning team, so he knows these conditions well.
Beautiful dry season day up here, 31 degrees, 37% humidity it's climbed up to. Barely a cloud in the sky, a few little whispers here and there.
Kelly continues around the wicket to Harvey. Back the length, straight to cover. Kenzie Harvey, originally Victorian, plundered runs through pathway cricket. He's played about 40 games for the Renegades. Wasn't quite able to get going. Took a contract with SA last year, performed well in the domestic competition. On their way to winning both the 1-day and 4-day titles. He'll be looking to improve on that with the Strikers through BBL 15. Punches that one to deep point. He's quick between the wickets. Harvey gets back comfortably for 2. So the equation's pretty simple for the Strikers. They're looking to chase this target as quickly as possible. Currently got a run rate of under 2, net run rate of under 2, so they'll need to improve that if they're going to make it through to finals day on Sunday.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll have to be waiting too long before we see them start swinging here, Carl, just to improve that run rate. 4 runs was probably less than you would have thought on that first ball, but maybe gives the batters a chance just to get a feel for things. They will really want to start swinging big and maybe even be eyeing off 10 overs or 12 overs.
Jake Winter on strike. He's going to face Evans, who's bowled well so far. Lewis Evans probably been the shining light for the ACT. He's picked up 7 wickets, economy of 5.34 across 8 overs, so that's excellent in anyone's books. T20 cricket, looking forward to seeing him bowl from the airport end. Down leg to start. Winter and Harvey at the crease. We've got deep backward square. And deep long on as the two fielders out. This power play. Once again, big in swinger. Keeper does well to get a glove on it. Still going to be a couple. Evans just losing his action there. He's let the first two balls go down the leg side, so yet to register a legal delivery. You may prefer bowling to the left-handed Harvey. Bit more margin for error. He steams in again. This one's better directed. Chop down from Winter for one. That single brings Harvey back on strike.
Still just easing into it here. I knew a few sundries to start this over helps their cause.
Got a sort of third slip in play. Kenzie's driving hard to mid-off, just a single. Circumspect start.
Yes, one of those games where while they're sort of getting the runs, they just still sort of easing into it. That last shot was much better.
Winter off his hip, times that one well. Fielder out there.
Now we're starting to see a little bit of fire in the belly.
Still only the 3 legal balls, so it's going to take a little while. Evans starting with a couple of wides. Again, one into the offside. Evans has shown he can find a bit of shape with the new Kookaburra.
Just toiling away here, Winter and Harvey.
Breeze just starts to pick up here, TXC Arena.
Can be prone to some pretty strong gusts just backing onto the Darwin International Airport here in Marara.
Outside off, well timed, backward to square. That'll be the first boundary for the Adelaide Strikers. A little bit of width. Winter helps himself to freeze hands. Score moves to 12.
This over now building up as well, Carl.
Just a little bit of width, pretty good shot. Back of a length, the field up. Winter was able to find the gap. One ball remaining in the second. Short, pulled away. That'll be 4 more. Winter was quick onto that. Back of a length. Nice bat speed. Plenty of room out in the deep. So back-to-back 4s to close out the second. And the Adelaide Strikers have got the start that they were after. Loose delivery, short into leg stump, just helped on its way. Winters may move to 13 off 5.
In fact, it might have been 6 there, or was it 4?
I think it's gone all the way.
It's gone all the way, so 6, which means they've gotten 18 off the over and already out to 22 runs. That's much more like what we thought we'd see. They need to try and chase down this total as quickly as they can 99 required already. They've gotten under 100 runs required, which is definitely something that they can do. Harvey now facing the first ball of Skelly's second over.
It's driven back to mid-off. So, well-known Mackenzie Harvey. Yet set this competition alight. Top score of 27, just the 46 runs across 3 hits. Striking at 124. So interesting to see what sort of role the Adelaide strikers have in mind for him. Upcoming Big Bash. See plenty of batting with Matt Short, Jason Sanger, amongst others. This one's well hit through the cover field. The strong square of the wicket, Harvey. Signature shot for him. Got a little bit of width. Slashed the hands through it. Found the middle of the bat. Found the gap. And that's 4 more.
Getting onto a roll now.
Just mentioned Matt Short in that Big Bash side. It's a reoccurring theme of promising Victorian batters making their way to Adelaide and then going on to prove their careers. This one's a no ball and gone through for a bye, so sloppy start here from the ACT. They needed to take early wickets. They've just been a little loose. Hard to maintain the energy and spark when there's extras getting bowled early. Just coming back to that theme on Mackenzie Harvey, Matt Short, Jake Fraser McGurk, another one who's gone across to SA and done good things. Starting at the Adelaide Oval.
Free hit coming up here. How big will they go?
He does get a hold of that. I think it's going to be 6 more. So just getting inside of it, the length ball. Mackenzie Harvey really cracked off the bat, smashed into the picket fence here at DXC Arena, and strikers are flying. Made their way to none for 35. A couple balls remaining inside the third. So it was a free hit. He got length. That's probably not a great delivery to bowl for a free hit. Batter's just going to swing through the line. You can trust the bounce here at DXC Arena. Mackenzie Harvey up to 17 off 11. A couple of boundaries in this over. Fuller just gives himself a bit of room. It's found the gap. He's going to come back for 3. Excellent placement from Harvey there. 2 cover fielders dived. He couldn't stop it. Ball rolled out into the deep.
Making the most of this power surge as well at the moment. 4 to start the innings they have. We're almost 3 through.
Right-handed Winter with a deep point, deep square leg. One's straight toward backward point for a dot to the 5th ball, not the 3rd over. What can Scully do here? They need a wicket. Another dot to finish. So a couple of dots. Up for 38 after 3. We mentioned that last night the Adelaide strikers were bowled out for 95 against Pakistan Shaheens. So some early wickets from ACT could put the middle order back under pressure. We expect the strikers to come out with an aggressive frame of mind. They've got some net run rate to catch up. If if they're going to make it through to finals day on Sunday. So far, they're on track to chase down the 121 required for their second win in the Top End Series, brought to you by NT Tourism.
Yeah, Adelaide's really put on a good start here. 38 runs, no wickets conceded yet. It took the ACT Comets 8 overs before they managed 38, and by that stage they'd already dropped 4 wickets. Last 2 overs they've conceded 16 runs and 18 runs, significantly more than the 13, which the ACT Comets conceded their most expensive, which they got for their highest tally in that first innings, 13th, 16th overs. So imagine that Manhattan's already towering over the Comets.
Introduction of spin. Tom Hogan will bowl left arm around to Mackenzie Harvey with a deep square leg and deep long on. Harvey again opens himself up to access the ball through the offside. Hogan's bowled 11 overs through this series. Excellent economy of 5.8, so he can be trusted with the ball. Taking the 2 wickets.
He has been really impressive over the tournament, probably more so for his economy rather than he hasn't had any sort of super standout performances in terms of wicket taking, but yes, his economy has been fantastic and showed promising signs with the bat as well.
Following the last of the power play overs, deep mid wicket and deep long on to the leg side. Will Winter look to advance and hit him over mid off. Quicker onto leg stump, work down, there'll be at least a couple. Mentioned Harvey's quick, he decides against that one. They just need a little bit of spark here, the Comets. Something to get them going, a bit of belief, great catch or a run out. This one's full and wider. And just able to free the arms and get the ball through to the mid-off boundary. That was always going to be the area that Winter targeted. Was able to get that one away.
Already whittled down, 76 required off 99 balls.
Yeah, with 2 deep on the leg side, this was just a little bit wide. Help yourself, really. And the same again, this time it's a better shot. It's going to go all the way. Great shot. Winter, again, just freeing the arms with a bit of width. It's hitting with the breeze out to the mid-off boundary. I wonder if that will bring about a change in field. Looks like that's where Hogan's looking to bowl. Just not sure he's got the protection where he needs. Goes quicker through the air, but it's the same result. So extra cover. Tried to jump and couldn't make up the ground required. Winters helped himself to 3 boundaries in a row, all to the same area of the ground. They're flying along here, the Adelaide Strikers. So, Captain Scott Mearn just has a word to young Tom Hogan. They have a think about what they're going to do. They're persisting. He's gone, yeah. To get away from mid-off, he's gone deep into the wicket, and Winter's too good for a half tracker, so that's 6 more to the total. And hard going for the young ortho Tom Hogan, but he'll learn plenty from this experience bowling to quality players through the Top End Series. That's a big over, 23 off the last of the power surge.
Fielder just fetching the ball from the not the construction site, but from the dirt mounds there. Yeah, apart from that, he's had a really good series bowling. That was probably his worst over by a long way, Tom Hogan. Hopefully it doesn't take too much confidence out of him, and I guess we'll see how that goes later in the day.
Yeah, don't want to harp on it. Not sure if the bowler was setting his own field or if that was the captain, but I just don't think the protection was in the right spot there. Anyway, we'll move on. ACT just try and determine who's going to bowl this next over, who's going to put up their hand. Strikers are off to a flying start. It looks like it will be Lewis Evans to continue. He's been their pick so far. His partnership is flying. It's already 61 off 24 balls. I mentioned that the Comets had some trouble finding the boundary all the way through their innings. They didn't clear the fence at all. I've already seen a couple of sixes from the first 4 overs of the Adelaide Strikers. So will be the top scorer. Wait, no, just wait for your graphics to update. Looks like it will be Evans from the McMillan's Road end. Seeing the wide shot, lovely DXC Arena. Airport in the background. Airport Development Group, another one of our fantastic partners, along with DXC Technology. Harvey's on 21. So strong through that area of the ground. See how he just gives himself some room, opens up, scores predominantly square of the wicket. Jake Winter equals his highest score of the top end series.
And a good opportunity here for these opening top order batsmen for the Strikers to flex their muscles a little bit as well and try and vie for one of those last 3 spots on the Big Bash League list.
So just to confirm, it's definitely Lewis Evans bowling this over. He's bowling to Winter. He's off to a flyer. Gives himself room. Happy to just take one to mid-off. Excellent campaign last year. Jake Winter made 248 runs from 8 hits, including 104, striking at 137, as he was a key part of this team that bet Bangladesh in the final. Adelaide Strikers still got plenty of work to do if they're going to go back-to-back.
Winter managed 35 in that first game, but he did it off 31 balls. He's gotten the same off just 12 balls here.
Mistimed. Harvey tried to pull that over to the leg side. Didn't get any of that. So good response from Evans. Bowled a couple of wides and a boundary hit off his first over. We've got the figures of none for 21, but this over's been much better. Just the singles so far. That mistimed shot might have done some damage to the willow of Mackenzie Harvey's. Looks like he's going to have a new kookaburra brought out to him. The kookaburra ball being used for the first time in the top end T20 series. It's been a great addition. Same ball used as the Big Bash kookaburra turf.
I think I broke a bat in my second ever game of under 8s cricket, Carl. It was a scramble. It was just a sort of an old wooden beach bat, which was all we could muster up at the first 2 games.
Yes. The bat repairers are in a good trade these days.
Certainly wasn't the high quality stuff that they've got out here today on DXC Arena.
Speaking to someone at Kookaburra the other day, they're saying that there's, in 4 or 5 years with the amount of cricket being played across the world, there could be a shortage in English willow. They're struggling to grow the trees as quick as people want to use them. This one's helped on its way down to fine leg for 4 more. Harvey just tucks that off his hip.
Slightly slower this over, but there's still time for them to make something of it. And they've got the firepower to do so as well. Their first boundary of the over here. Just tucked away.
Just looked like he had so much time there, Mackenzie Harvey. As we said, so many runs across pathway cricket. big season with Carlton in their premiership winning year a couple of seasons back now. This one's well wide. Just losing his radar a little bit here, Evans. He's had to do the bulk of the work with the ball for the ACT. He's got one ball remaining in his second. This one's better directed. Well hit to the offside. Just a single. After 5 overs, Adelaide strikers, none for 70.
Yeah, good start again for the Adelaide strikers. They're just pushing on their merry way at the moment, and as you saw the way that they were hitting the ball there, there's just doing so with ease, guiding it towards the boundary. That over was a little bit quieter, but still already look at those overs towering over what the Comets could manage. 3 of their 6 so far, 3 of their 5 so far have been stronger than the best the Comets could produce.
We'll have a change from the airport end. Will be number 15, Sam Rahman, who was the top scorer in the first innings for the Comets, 33 off 28. He's playing up in Darwin with the Tracy Village Cricket Club, making the most of the Cricket 365 concept. Australia, the only country in the world where you can play cricket every day of the year, and this series is certainly looking to promote that to the world. Field's gone back, out of the power play. We've got a long on. Around the wicket. Times from Harvey. Plenty of talk about potential privatisation of the Big Bash, but in that Boston Consulting Group report, it also talked about team expansion, and the ACT were listed as one of those teams, along with New Zealand and Singapore. So interesting to see and follow how ACT cricket develops.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, seeing a very grassroots product in front of us, but you'd think that's going to grow significantly if they can get a Big Bash side.
Certainly got some strong government support, some heavy backers.
Interesting to see what they make of the Singapore bid, given it'd be a similar climate to what we live in up here in the Northern Territory. It'd be middle of the wet season there. I don't know how many games you'd actually get.
Rahman to continue. This time over mid-off, gives himself a bit of room. It's well timed, helps himself to 4 more. Mackenzie Harvey worked his way up to 32 off 20. Just was able to read the back of a length ball. Talked about how he favours the cover and point region.
They do have the Singapore Cricket Club over there. I don't think there's an actual pitch there. I think it's more a social club rather than a cricketing club.
They certainly do a lot. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see a bit more meat on the bones of that pitch or proposal. Oh, must have been close to getting bowled as he gave himself some room and tried to heave that to the leg side. There's a bit of vacant area at mid-wicket. Got 2 back square on the offside. Talked about Harvey being strong through there. We've got deep backward square, deep long on. So looks like we may only have the 4 out. So I'm missing 1. 5 inside the ring. So if they're trying to take wickets here, the ACT. This is full over mid-off. 4 more. Just looking class above here, Mackenzie Harvey and Jake Winter. They're established players. Haven't quite got firing in their first 3 games, but if they start to hit some form, we can expect the strikers to still have something to say in the back end of this competition.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've got a few interesting games coming up. Melbourne Renegades, that'll be on tomorrow here at DXC Arena, the first game of the day. You'd think the loser of that is out and the winner would keep going along their way. Probably a bit of a 50-50 prospect at the moment.
Almost tries to sweep that one to the leg side. Appeal for LB is denied. Yeah, an early elimination final for the Strikers against the Renegades tomorrow. With 11 teams in a top 4, there's going to be some good teams that miss out. So, as we've spoken about, still a lot to play for with these required runs for the Strikers. Net run rate is definitely going to play a part.
You'd think Renegades probably been a little bit more consistent over their 4 games so far. As you have a look just how quickly the Strikers are jumping ahead of where the Comets were at the same stage. Currently on 75. The Comets didn't get there until midway through the 14th over. Strikers, well, they've probably been better and worse than the Renegades. It depends which Strikers outfit you get tomorrow. And they've got Bangladesh, the last game of the minor round, and you'd think Strikers are probably on their day better than Bangladesh, but you never know what T20 can throw up.
More spin from the McMillan's road end. Kai Brunker had a little cameo with the bat. What can you do with the ball? Oh. Harvey's not going to waste any more time. Just slog sweep that over the leg side. Maybe lucky to survive.
That run rate now down to 1 every 2 balls, 42 required off 84. 42 required from 83 now.
Breeze just picking up, disrupting Brunker's approach. He's gathered himself.
Ooh.
Harvey giving himself some room, slow through the air, Brunker. Unable to find any bat on that. So take you back to that Renegades 5-wicket win against Hobart today. Runs for Harry Dixon and Oliver Peake. This one's hit out to sweeper for 1. 2 of the brightest stars in Australian cricket. Plenty of eyes will be on them this upcoming summer. In many ways, the emergence of Peake and Dixon might have contributed to Mackenzie Harvey not being offered a Victorian contract last season. So he's made the move over to SA, which has worked out for him. Part of their one-day championship winning team. A domestic competition last year. This one's smashed out to the offside. Deep Point's got a lot of work to do and he won't get there. Just a little too short and wide from Brunker. Winter's seeing them well. He was able to rock back, help himself to 4 more.
Paradigm shift from what the Strikers achieved last night. Absolutely smashing it around here and with relative ease as well. Already 11 boundaries.
Again, it's knocked out to mid-on for a single. Winter's made his way to 41 off only 15 deliveries. Fast approaching the quickest half century of the top end series so far. Again, well hit by Harvey. You can really hear the crack off his bat. Timing and power from the left-hander. After 7 overs, we're none for 86.
And just 35 required from 78 balls. Adelaide Strikers looking to try and get this done as quick as possible. Build some beef to their run rate.
Good signs there from the ACT. Some high fives going around. They're running between the overs. Just need to keep showing the energy. Make sure the teamwork is staying close together. Tight-knit unit. They'd know each other well, having played so much cricket in ACT Premier Cricket with and against each other. Second 11. Harvey and Winter will be eyeing off a century opening stand. It's going to be Hogan to continue. He's got a bit more protection now. Around the wicket. Mid off for a single.
Good to see them go back to use Hogan. He wasn't used straight away in that 6th over, but they've given him another crack here in the 8th. Obviously wasn't his best over by any means, but hopefully he stays positive and calm and just tries to build something here.
This one's into the wicket again. Winter didn't quite get that. Just trying to hit it over the top for 6 more. Little inside edge on the bounce to long on.
Protection there definitely helped him. If that was in his first over where the power surge was on, that's probably clearing the rope.
It's a short. Oh, just hit to backward square. Harvey would not be pleased with that. Drag down from Hogan. Not his best ball by any means, but he claims a wicket. And a little bit of celebration for the ACT Comets. They've got their first on the board. Harvey has to depart. He was looking so good, 39 off 30. Be disappointed to throw away a start.
Much better from Hogan this over. Just 2 from it and already claimed a wicket, as you said. Not his best ball, but statistics will say he's claimed the first wicket of the innings, and the important Mackenzie Harvey goes.
No mistake. Fielder, the simple catch.
Coming in now, Harry Nielsen, who was probably the pick of the bunch when they were fielding. I think he was involved in at least 4 catches, 4 wickets there, with 4 catches from behind the wicket. Now he'll have a crack at it with the bat.
Harry Nielsen, clubman for South Australia and the Strikers when Alex Carey's off on national duties, as he often is. There's a dot to face. Can they try and take 2 quickly? Maybe 2 new batters to the crease. Still plenty to gain for these young ACT Comets. Most of them will have their careers ahead of them. They'll be learning lots through this top end series.
Probably, definitely their best over of the match so far from the bowling of Tom Hogan. 1 for 25. The only wicket taker so far. Kai Brunker, the pick of the bunch in terms of his economy, just 7 off his. But it's not pretty figures with Adelaide really trying to chase down this tally as quick as possible. 1 for 87 off 8 overs. They're doing pretty easily so far.
Winters on strike. Works it to the leg side for 1. 33 only required now as we enter the 9th over. Ken Brunker add himself to the wicket takers. Yet to take one in the competition. He's bowled 10 overs across 4 matches. Economy's okay at 7.3, so let's see what we can do to get the young leggy his first wicket. came out of the hand nicely. Driven to mid-off, they're putting pressure on the field. Sure, there should be one there if the fielder's inside the ring.
Slowed down a little bit here. Comets putting up a good fight in the field.
Need to get our statisticians onto it, but I'm sure Winter's on track for the quickest 50 of the series so far. So that dot won't help. He's 8 away. He's only faced 17 balls. A couple of sixes over to the leg side. So he pulls that one. Oh, half a chance to mid-wicket. Unable to rein it in, so he just gets a single. His short time at the crease, 4 fours and 3 sixes to Winter. So we'll try and see if the fielder was potentially half a chance there. Just over the outstretched arms.
Already looking like they'll surpass last night's total of 95 with ease, the Adelaide strikers.
Harry Nielsen, one down to mid-wicket. Made a century on his Shield debut many years ago. As we mentioned, the son of former Australian cricketer and coach Tim Nielsen. Point for another single. Will, I mentioned that the Adelaide strikers still have 3 spots remaining on their Big Bash squad. Jake Winter, do you think he's got an outside chance or aspirations if he can continue the striking that he's showing here?
Yeah, I think so. He's done no harm by trying to get the quickest 50 that we've seen so far in this tournament, but I guess outside of that as well, a knock of 35 is not bad at all, and 27, so he's been very good across all his games so far with the bat. I think if you're looking for a batsman, he's an answer who's right there in front of you.
Yeah, just to add, was the Adelaide strikers' top run scorer in last year's top end series, so I'm sure the selectors have him in their calculations.
A Winter specialist, if you will.
Got you there, mate. So.
Never Winter up here in the top end unless it's Jake facing the ball.
Hits one down to mid-off for a single.
And Tom Hogan in again, took their first wicket. And a really, really tight second over for him. 1 for 2. He'll be hoping he can try and replicate that as much as possible here. 1 off the first ball.
On to Nielsen. He's got mid-off up, so trying to put a bit of pressure on the new batter. And he just helps himself to 4 exactly in that area. That's what happens when you bowl to class players. They back their skills right from the first opportunity. We saw a few batters in the ACT just unsure of whether to attack or play themselves in, but someone who's played as much BBL cricket as Harry Nielsen had mid-off up inside the ring, so he just plonked it back over, easy as you like. This time Hogan corrects again by being quicker into the wicket, cramps him for a bit of room, and it's a good response to get the dot there. Let's see what the young tweaker has for the 4th ball. Fuller, straight back at him.
Ooh.
Outstretched hand was half a chance. Mid-on comes around. Again, not a heap of energy in the field. Nielsen has 2 more.
That run rate already down to less than 2.5.
Four more over mid-off. Nielsen, same shot as we saw in the second ball of the over. I mean, you don't mind the tactics of bringing the fielder up, but when you're bowling to players as good as this, that's a pretty easy shot to execute.
Yeah, and the first shot there was a little bit closer to Keogh. That one a little bit faster and further away. He couldn't quite get to it in time, and yeah, not bad on the first one. The second one's executed perfectly, 3 for 4 runs.
Tough one for the ACT Comets here. Certainly trying to give Hogan exposure to good players. I'm just not sure the fields have allowed him to work his way into the game. He's now gone for more than 30 from his first 3 overs, 36 in fact. So here we go at the first opportunity. The Adelaide strikers have elected to take the power surge, probably no surprise. They're looking to get this over with as quickly as possible. Take as much, gain as much net run rate as they can. So there'll only be 2 out. Sam Scally comes back from the McMillan's Road end. He's going to bowl over the wicket with a deep backward square and deep mid wicket. So he's probably going to have to bowl into the wicket, and I'm not sure Winter will need any invitation to try and clear them. Just goes over mid-off, perfectly timed, races away for 4 more, makes his way to 49 off only 21. There's only 14 more required from the Adelaide strikers.
With that last over, they surpassed both last night's total and the 100-run mark. 14 left. They could potentially do it this over, but you'd think that they should get that done within the power play, at least.
So here we go. Winter to bring up his half-century. Whacked back. Oh, it's hit the stumps. Otherwise, it might have been another 4, but it still gets Winter through to 50. Off only 22 balls, well played. Gives a small acknowledgement to the applause around the ground. 13 more. He's coming back. I think he's got to be a good shot at this Big Bash squad. Got a lot of bowling already in the squad. Hassan Ali, the overseas, Cameron Boyce, Jordan Buckingham, Lloyd Pope, Henry Thornton and Luke Wood, the bowlers for the Adelaide strikers in the Big Bash squad. So you think they'd be looking to add more batting depth with those 3 list spots that remain. Let's just work down to 3rd. It's racing away. Oh, so quick, this outfield. DXC Arena is in perfect condition. Nielsen was just an inside edge. The fielder looked like he had it all the way, just kept racing away from him. And 4 more. Will, we're very close to the end.
It's almost in sight here. 2 good hits, and they'll be back to the sheds. So well could be done this over.
I think that's what Nielsen and Winter will be eyeing off. 3 balls remain. Oh, I'm sure he can bowl there. Just short into the wicket. Had protection out there, I guess, but sat up. Nielsen was able to just bang it over to square leg.
Looks like that's gone over into the 7th hole. I think there's a golfer just jogging over to go and collect it from what we can see.
So the fielder just trying to collect the tossed return.
Sports Combined. If you're not familiar with Darwin, it's in the middle of a massive sporting complex here where you've got just about any sport you can think of, but have a look at that 6. I think it might have hit the fence on the way through and just grabbed a little bit more purchase as it jumped over the fence.
Might have been looking for the off-place bouncer there, Scally, which is a good tool to have for any quick in this short form game, but it just sat up a little bit too much. Nielsen, he's come out, just flown to 22 off 11. Hasn't had a trouble in the world. Only 3 more required. Nielsen's on strike. Scally, Fuller this time. Oh, that would have been a classic catch, the outside edge. Wait till we see this on replay. Wicketkeeper diving to his left. Mikey McMurray had a chance to claim a cracker there. Moved well. Those just stick or they don't. This occasion, it went down. Outside edge.
Oh.
Move into his left. Got a lot of it. Couldn't have done much more.
Just missed the squeeze there. Bounced off the pad of his palm.
2 more required. Into leg stump. They'll probably get the 2 that they need. Let's hit out backward to square. It's going to race away for 4 in fact. So Winter 54. He'll end this match undefeated. Fantastic innings from him. The Adelaide Strikers have made light work of the ACT Comets. They keep their series alive. Well, for the ACT, there'll be a bit to review for the coaches and the leadership group, trying to keep the morale for their remaining match. Teams converge to shake hands with the umpires. Will, what are your reflections?
Yeah, really important knock there for the Adelaide Strikers. They had a really disappointing match last night, only mustering up 95. So to come out and do what they did today, with ultimately what's a really healthy run rate for them, and probably somewhat squares the ledger there a little bit. It gives them every chance going forward. For the Comets, they probably came up against the Strikers at the wrong time, a team hungry for redemption. If they had come up with them a different time of the tournament, maybe it would have been a little bit more of a game, but with so much at stake for the Strikers side, I guess really showed where this ACT team is at. It is quite a young ACT team. Only I think the 2 players on the squad have played up here in the local competition. A few have played up in previous years, but yeah, Adelaide Strikers just too good, and evident by that 1 wicket and those 3 relatively big scores for the T20 format.
Yep, so we mentioned time in the middle for the Adelaide Strikers will be crucial. They'll come up against the Renegades tomorrow in what's an early elimination final. Runs for Ollie Peake and Harry Dixon. So that proves to be an exciting clash. As we can just see, they have done that in a canter, the Adelaide Strikers. What a win for them. They couldn't have gone to script any better. Still more action to come today in the Top End Series. A reminder that the NT Strike will face up against the Kingsmen from 3 o'clock local time before Bangladesh face off against the Melbourne Stars. From DXC Arena, we'll sign off and thank you for joining us.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia's Northern Territory and start a world-class partnership where your potential can glide through boundaries and you can rack up runs in places you've never imagined. Enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and help us build what's next. When this over is over, think about getting on a good wicket and consider studying in Australia's Northern Territory. Authorised by the Northern Territory Government, Darwin.
Cricket taught us to chase boundaries. Out here, you'll find new ones. From hot springs to hotter curries, the Northern Territory surprises at every turn. Adventure, culture, food, it's all here and it's all real. Not your usual holiday, not your usual Australia. New boundaries, new territory. Australia's Northern Territory.